I needed to have a replacement for my knees because of my arthritis. It was getting pretty bad and I had bone on bone. So I went in and I had my right knee replaced completely and ended up in physical therapy with some local franchises that are in the area, and didn't really have a whole lot of one-on-one attention, and I didn't feel I was getting what I needed out of that. Found Robert on Facebook, and I was very, very happy to find out not only did he do one-on-one, but he takes insurance, and he also had the Aqua Therapy, which was a little less difficult for me to actually make my progression. So after my left knee surgery, I went to him and I was able to engage with him probably for the last 2.5, 3 months, and it's just been fabulous. Every time I see him, I'm one-on-one, it's private, it's in a pool. He's very, very attentive to the way he responds to me and in making sure that I'm not being pushed too far. I never end up in a situation where I feel like I've got a lot of pain and I regret coming to PT. So I've really been looking forward to it. So when I was on land, I was mostly working with rubber band straps around my ankles and then doing the machine and the equipment. But I found that when I was in the pool, it was more freeform, and I was really just using all of my muscles, and then the water resistance was going to be the key element that was going to give me the progression that I was looking for. And it was much more comfortable, very easy. I never left my PT session really exhausted, feeling like I didn't want to come back again. I think that the flexibility with Robert is excellent. The privacy is absolutely top-notch. We're in the pool at the Y, and nobody else uses that pool. So it's his private little domain, and when I go in there, I don't feel like we're going to have any interruptions. I don't feel like I have to wait for anybody else to get his attention from me full on. I walk in, I get the full hour of his one-on-one attention. I'm in the water. We change it up every single week. Sometimes we put weights on my ankles, sometimes we don't. There have been a couple of bumps in the road as I've gone along in my recovery that have been from a medical aspect, so he's toned back the amount of repetitions that we need to make, and is very, very, very aware of what my physical circumstances are at any given time, and that's just been excellent. When I was going to the other larger franchise, I would have a different PT person every single week, and they would just look at a chart, they would give me a number of repetitions, put me on a bike, and then just go take care of somebody else, and it was really a contrast. So when I started, I had just come off of my left knee and my left knee operation. And that was pretty painful. It was a little bit more painful than my first one. My right one was a piece of cake. The left one gave me a little bit of trouble because there was a little more of a complication. I was on a walker when I first came in, I believe, but I had made it into the Y with just using the cane. And I was on my cane using that for probably up to about 4 or 5 weeks ago, which was at about the 8-week mark after I had finished my surgery. And I tossed the cane. He's been working with me on going down the steps, which is a real challenge for people that have had their knee surgery. Going down the steps is probably one of the last things that you can conquer. I'm getting close to that. But I've tossed the cane and I've got the balance. He really works a lot with balance. So I don't feel like if I'm walking outside and I'm ready to step off a curb, I don't feel like I'm going to lose my balance, which is very, very key, especially if I want to try going out to the grocery store or something without using the cane. So there's just been massive improvements that I've seen every step of the way. I would recommend him to anybody.